Top 10 Manhwa or Manhua with OP MC. With so many amazing manhwa and manhwa out there, it can be tough to decide which ones to read. But never fear, we are here to help with a list of top 10 manhwa or manhua with OP MCs. From action-packed adventures to heartwarming romances, there is something for everyone on this list. So sit back, relax, and get ready to be transported to some amazing worlds. Starting off with our number 10, The Descent of the Demonic Master. This isn't your typical manga where the OP MC battles new enemies and ventures off to save the world. The MC is just trying to live a normal life with OP powers and is incredibly entertaining. Jinho Kang used to be an average teenager before an accident took away his family and his ability to walk. After reincarnating in medieval China, he becomes the demon master known as the Crimson Emperor. When his life is tragically cut short, he wakes up back in his previous life, before the accident and with the powers of martial arts prowess intact. All Jinho wants is to live a normal life, but he soon realizes that the monsters exist even in the modern world, and only he can stop them. Of course, it might be a little boring and slow to pick up at the beginning, but once the secretary arrives, that's when everything becomes funny. It's honestly a nice break from reading mangas filled with dramatic battles from the beginning to the end. Number 9. Immortal Path of the Beast. Talented chief disciple of the royal beast sect, Xiao Ren was forming his heavenly beast stand to enter the Golden Dan realm when he was attacked by the sect master. His heavenly beast stand stolen, cultivation crippled, and yet he was set up and banished to the Thousand Beast Valley. At wit's end, he had a chance to encounter with the ancient Calamity Beast. The two bonded over the common goal of revenge, desperate to survive against the odds and kill their way into the Immortal Alliance. It's one of those manhwas with OP MC that you like. Number 8. Dungeons and Artifacts. It's about an explorer of dungeons, MC, who is aiming to getting his revenge against the prince who betrayed him in a dungeon. The story develops quite well and the pacing is also good. The characters are also written very well. This world is set up on fantasy land where human kingdoms, elves, dwarves exist, and so exist dungeons containing monsters with artifact at its core. MC was able to get his hands on that exceptional artifact of dungeon where he got betrayed. This artifact helps him to get stronger by sucking mana from dead monsters and mana from other artifacts of dungeon, and so he grew stronger. It's a good one to recommend who like this type of manhwas. Number 7. Nostalgic Warrior. So Cheon-ho returns to his homeland after a decade of war and learns that his father has passed away and his disciple brother, who was no different from his family, had disappeared without a trace. He briefly spends pleasant days with his childhood friend So-hai, but it is entrusted with her daughter Hyo-yoon before she dies of a disease. Cheon-ho, who has lost everything, starts an endless war against the martial artist in order to protect Hyo-yoon. This Muri manhwa is just quite refreshing. Main character is a veteran martial artist, not just in name but he also acts like one. He is also quite ruthless. Side characters are also written very well. Art is also nice on the eyes and fight scenes really packed a punch. World building is also looking decent for now. This is a must-try for guys who want ruthless characters. Number 6. The Reincarnation of the Forbidden ARCHMAGE. One day, dungeons suddenly appeared. Humans with awakened skills then set out to face these dungeons in search of hope and riches. Our protagonist, Seiki, having no skills, is considered incompetent. In order to earn enough money for the treatment of his little sister with an incurable disease, he decides to become an adventurer. Seiki has a secret. In his previous life, he was the most powerful mage. Since his reincarnation, he has to level up to regain his former powers. This is the story of an incompetent who will turn the world upside down with his power. The story is quite cliché, so if you are looking for something new, this won't be for you. However, if you like dungeon stories set in the modern era and want more of the same, it's worth reading. Moving on to our number 5, The Lone SSS-CLASS Summoner. Zhangzi crosses over to a parallel world where people rely on the magic domain to fight monsters and become stronger to resist the invasion of demons from the Devil's Cave. For the sake of his sister, Zhangzi enters the magic realm under the name of Asura, and then he unexpectedly awakens the strongest SSS level talent summoning ability. The higher the level of the summoning art, the more monsters you can summon, and the more you can upgrade. Is simply heaven-defying. This one is pretty good. The MC is really interesting. Moreover, the art is especially good and fits perfectly with the plot. Number 4. I grind dungeons around the world. Sumu travel to a parallel world where everyone in this world will be forced to enter the game space when they are 18 years old and become a challenger. Start various types of survival games in space. Hide and seek, become the victor, have a little bit of romance. MC grows weak to strong to overpower. Amazing action. So I can guarantee readers will get a combo pack. So I definitely recommend it. Number 3. Ultra Alter. In Agrosphere Online, a VR MMORPG craze, Orium Lee is harshly mocked by his party members for being a mediocre healer. Not only that, his teammates in the game bully him in real life at school. Orium's saving grace is his alternate character, a powerful Avenger class character that he plays with extraordinary skill. One day when Orium logs out of the game, a glitch in a system imbues him with his alternate character's ability and forces him to fight against evil monsters from the in-game realm. Will Orium survive the game world and his school life at the same time? It is a game system Manhwa, have overpowered characters, have a little bit of romance. MC grows weak to strong to overpower. Amazing action, so I can guarantee readers will get a combo pack, so I definitely recommend it. Number 2. The Dark Magician transmigrates after 66,666 years later. Diablo Volpir, a powerful dark mage, was defeated and sealed away in a battle against the 12 gods. He finally wakes up from his sleep after 66,666 years later, however, in the body of a newborn baby, Jamie Welton. 9 years later, with a fraction of power he once held, and with the loving family and peaceful environment he is now surrounded by, Jamie plans to extract revenge against the 12 gods that had sealed him away. So far, this manhwa feels so refreshing. In my opinion, the art is almost perfect. The few characters that have been introduced so far have personalities that are unusual for this type of manhwa, and the story seems really promising. I have only given 8.5 out of 10 to the story because it's way too early to give a higher vote. I really recommend this manhwa to everyone who likes the genre of OP main characters. And finally, number 1. Cursed Manager's Regression. As the manager for the Bongsan group, Kim Moo-jin was a normie that was part of a support team for Transcendence who fought using supernatural powers. In his role as a waste slave, he was tasked with cleaning up after the oh-so-great Transcendence that went around breaking everything. The only sweet reprieve he had was his weekends. However, one day, he caught up in a fight between Transcendental and died an unfortunate death. I knew I would end up dying from sticking my nose where it doesn't belong. Right as he was thinking so, he woke up. He had regressed to the year 2002. With this, he thought that he'd finally get to live the life of action series protagonist in webtoons. However, his dream was short-lived. He still didn't have any powers. Instead, he possessed a curse that could cut his once-in-a-lifetime opportunity short. Can Kim Moo-jin save himself from his curse and make the most out of his regression? With his knowledge of the future, he sets out to stop disasters before they even form. But the future seems to have changed already. Ladies and gentlemen, we conclude today's list with that. But before we leave, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. We really work hard to bring you guys quality content, so a little appreciation goes a long way. Thanks for watching and have a great day.